To the story now, groundbreaking HIV cure trial conducted at the University of KwaZulu-Natal demonstrated some promising results in achieving antiretroviral therapy-free virus control. Find out what that means in a moment. The HIV cure trial shows that 20% of trial participants remain off ART and are virally suppressed after 1.5 years. These results provide insights towards the development of future HIV cure approaches. Speak to Professor Thumbi Ndung'u now, who led this particular study. Prof, thanks for coming on this afternoon. When did the study begin?
The study started about 2 years ago. I believe it was the preparation started in 2022.
And what makes this particular outcome promising towards HIV treatment?
Well, I think this is a promising study because it's the first time, at least here in Africa, where we are showing that a combination of early antiretroviral treatment with immunotherapy, followed by treatment interruption, can lead to ART-free control of HIV. So this offers some hope that we might be moving towards an HIV cure where people can live without antiretroviral therapy. As you know, at the moment, if somebody is living with HIV, they have to take antiretroviral therapy for the rest of their lives. Yeah. And that's a huge burden, both on the economic side, but also it's very difficult for people to take antiretroviral therapy every single day for the rest of their life. So what we are trying to do is to figure out an alternative to see whether people can control the virus without having to take antiretroviral therapy every single day.
So the goal is ART-free virus control, or as you put it, antiretroviral therapy-free virus control. Except, of course, for the cumbersome nature of having to take ARTs all the time, what are the other downsides of this continuous taking of this treatment?
Well, antiretroviral therapy is of course very beneficial for people living with HIV because it suppresses the virus, it prevents onward transmission of the virus, and it preserves the immune system. However, people do find it daunting to have to take antiretroviral therapy, and some people may experience certain side effects and toxicities associated with these medications. And we really also don't know what the long-term impact of taking antiretroviral medication is. If you can imagine a young person living with HIV who may have to take antiretroviral medication for 40 years or even more, depending on their life expectancy. That's a huge burden. And of course, there is also the economic burden of taking these medications. So what we are trying to do is what we are saying is that, of course, antiretroviral therapy is very good and beneficial at the moment, but if we can find alternatives, including antiretroviral-free control or even a complete cure so that the virus is eliminated from the body, that would be a huge advantage for people living with HIV.
Talk to us briefly about the journey that these 4 individuals would have taken in the 55 weeks of conducting this study.
I would like to, first of all, acknowledge and thank all the participants who took part in this study. It's not an easy study to be part of because, first of all, we always tell our patients or people living with HIV that they must take antiretroviral therapy all the time. And so for somebody to agree to be in this kind of study where we tell them that we are going to interrupt antiretroviral treatment, it's not easy. And the other thing is that once you are in this study, we have to monitor you very closely. We have to monitor you on a weekly basis. So you have to come to the clinic every single week so that we can take blood samples, we can measure your viral load to make sure that the virus is not rebounding. And so it's psychologically difficult, and also it calls for a lot of sacrifice. And so I would like to also thank the participants who were in this study because they give their time. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of their resources. And also we have to take a lot of blood samples because we would like to study what is going on with the immune system in these individuals. So again, not easy to do, but we have some very people who are very, very dedicated to this study, and we are very grateful for that because they move us towards an HIV cure an HIV cure in the future.
Yeah. The results showed 30% of the participants were able to stay off HIV treatment for nearly a year, and 20% remained off treatment until the trial ended at 55 weeks. Even after the trial, those 4 individuals are still being closely monitored and have continued without medication for over, 1.5, a year and a half now. And what are you seeing then as far as their immune system or even their viral load is concerned?
So again, these individuals who are in our study, they had the option to go back to antiretroviral therapy as soon as either the viral load rebounded or to go back on antiretroviral therapy once they finished 48 weeks in the study. But these 4 participants chose to remain off antiretroviral therapy because they are controlling the virus without antiretroviral medication. And of course, the purpose of antiretroviral medication is to control the virus to undetectable levels. So for the time being, these individuals are continuing to be monitored because we don't obviously know when the virus might rebound, and that's possible. There have been cases of people who controlled the virus for some time, and then the virus rebounded. So we continue to monitor them very closely. In terms of the lab investigations, we are doing a lot of work to try and understand what led to control in these 4 individuals, whereas the rest 16 did not control. We think that we have some hints in terms of what the immune system is doing in these individuals, but that is ongoing work, and hopefully we will be able to share the findings when they become available. At the moment, we don't have the full picture, but we think that it is something to do with the immune system, where we are inducing the immune system to be able to fight off the virus.
Prof. Ndung'u, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on, Professor Thumbi Ndung'u.